Boy Cupcake back at it again with Gentleman's Tuesday, and we're coming at you all the way from Great Britain, where we're racing some of the most expensive cars you can buy in the game. So I have appropriately named this live stream the Rich Boy Edition. So this track, fairly short, got a lot of sketchy turns to it, especially right before the start-finish line. That is going to be a spot where one wrong move and you're done. Like real life, you probably run over the barriers and they're not that heavy, but in this game you'd probably be dead. So let's take a look here and see what kind of competitors we have out today. First off, you've got Mr. Gentleman Tuesday himself, J-Rod, rocking the Alfa Romeo. You've got Joey Cannoli in the Toyota 2000, I believe. Yeah, 2000 GT, doing donuts. You know, flaunting his expensive car. You've got me, which I won't be racing, but I had to make a livery for it. I mean, hashtag get rich. Get money, get swole. And then you've got the fearless leader, Rusty, rocking the Jag on a British circuit. So, I'm going to take you guys around on a lap here of this infamous track in just a sec. I need to send the link. That way we can get some viewers up in here and they can listen to my gorgeous voice. So we're going to go on here to YouTube. We're going to type in RWB Racing, where it says Live Gentleman Tuesday Rich Boy Style. Go on Facebook. Let's post it there. You know what? I'm going to do one even better. We're going to copy a link. I'm going to start spamming the crap out of it. You didn't hear that. Let's see here. We're going to create a post. We're going to paste this. You guys are wondering, why is Cupcake talking to himself? Well, that's just what I do. As long as I don't answer myself, I think I'm fine. Which, yeah, Cupcake, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So, we're going to put it on RWB Racing. We're going to put it on the Gran Turismo Sport page. That way they know that we are live. And we're gonna race. So let's go out on a lap here on this gorgeous track and see what we have. So pit lane's gonna be a little bit funky. Very slow start. This turn here gets a little bit weird. We're gonna break through this set of turns. We're gonna go right on by. We'll let old Rusty through. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. About lost it all there. Very fast section of the track. It's gonna be following to what seems to be easy turns, but they can be pretty technical. Also, depending on the speed that you take it. So one of the slowest sections of the track, hashtag get rich. This part here, and not too terrible, not terrible at all. But here's our fastest section, I believe, of the track itself. I mean, easily reaching speeds here of about 140, followed by these consecutive right-handers. And this is where the sketchy part comes in, ladies and gents. You've got a very sharp turn here. Take this the wrong way and you're done. And then pit lane, you're just gonna dive right into it. So that was the out lap, or the first lap of the track, and there I go. So there you have it. We're going to have 25-minute endurance race for this track itself. But let's take a look here. RWB Venom running a I have no idea what that is. I think it's like a Gia, but it's like he took a shark and slapped some wheels on it. And it's like, yeah, this is rich enough. We've got Mr. Joey Cannoli there. Beautiful, beautiful Toyota. And looks like everybody's chilling. So, pretty good stuff. Good stuff. So, while we're waiting here, really don't know what to say. Not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, our upcoming races, Thursday, we've got the Group 3 Endurance hosted by Winkle. Friday will be the last race of the Super Formula season for the Eastside drivers, which someone will be crowned champion there. Saturday, Group 3, Group 4. And then, pretty much that's it. So let's take a look here. So Goodwood, I'll give you a little background history on this. Looks like we got Mr. Francisco who's going to be in there shortly, so that'll make 5 of them. That'll be good. But let me look up some info here, because I've watched this track on Facebook when Goodwood would be hosting it. They'll host anything from vintage style cars to vintage style motorcycles. And let me tell you, it is awesome. I mean, they've even had old Formula 1 cars or old endurance cars race. Now, this track looks to be about 2.5 miles long. And it first opened back in 1948. Which is a very, well, just a long time ago, I should say. About 7 turns. Fastest lap was set back in 2015 when Nick Padmore set a blistering speed in a Lola T70, which was a car built in 1965 for sports car racing. And looking at the pictures of it, it looks gorgeous. That is a gorgeous looking car. It's something they should have added in Gran Turismo, but yeah, no. And here's a little fun fact for you. The circuit is also where Bruce McLaren died. He died in a testing accident on June 2nd of 1970. At the very young age of 32 years old, this gentleman here, had a very good career, short while it lasted. Ended up winning the Le Mans once in his class. But there you have it. I mean, there's some facts there as far as what they race. We'll also take a look at that also. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so it hosts what's called the Goodwood Revival. This is what I was talking about earlier, where they'll race anything from 1920s, 1930s race cars to motorcycles. And it's a show. I mean, I think I've watched a live stream on Facebook to where they were racing Mini Coopers around this course, and it was a blast to watch. It really was. Now, looking at it here, so it also includes Grand Prix cars from the 1950s and 60s, as well as historic saloon cars and Formula Juniors. Now you're probably thinking, what the heck is a Formula Junior? Well, you know what, guys? I'ma tell you. Formula Junior was a open-wheel F1 class back in the 1950s, specifically 1958. And it's kind of like what, Formula 3, Formula 2 is to us. So it was kind of a beginner's class for people to race there and advance up to Formula 1. So, pretty cool fact there. Cool fact. But let's see. Venom. Oh, now we got Kitch. Let's see what Kitch is rocking here. Looks like he might be in an Alfa Romeo as well. Yep. Oh, well, he wasn't an Alfa Romeo. It went from Alfa Romeo to Romeo. And I think he's been knocked unconscious. So Venom's just gonna go along in his shark. RWB GAGT, aka Rusty. With that gorgeous Jaguar. I mean, that is just a beautiful car. Gorgeous. And I mean, the way that it's built, how low it sits to the ground, the contours on it. Yeah, it's smooth. It's smooth and it's cool, kind of like Rusty. No, he's smooth and cool. But you know, I'm surprised nobody was running the Ford GT or the GT40 except me. Hashtag get rich. Francisco, oh boy. I say GT40 and now look at Francisco. He is running his gorgeous Ferrari race car. One of the quickest cars there is of this time. And let's take a look here. Let's see where times are for practice. So, fastest one's going to be our fearless leader, Rusty, running a 1:15. Joey Cannoli is doing burnouts. Kitch on an outlap. Hashtag get rich. Francisco, he is on his outlap at the moment. He's going to get ready to cross the start-finish line. And, oh, yep, see. Hit that wall. So let's go on board here with Mr. Vasco Francisco himself. See how well he does. Going around the first curve, looks like he does a pretty good job there, keeping it stable. Gonna go down this this fast section. I was gonna say straight, but yeah, it's not straight. It's kinked. Currently on a purple lap with about a 1.3 second gap. That might go away after that little blunder there. Easily goes past Joey Cannoli. Heading on to the slowest part of the track there. Gets a little bit squirrely at the end. Now on to what I like to call the straight. Reaching speeds of about 140. Will he hit 150? He does. Doing about 2.2 seconds better. Gets a little bit loose, gets right on the grass, but manages to save it. Gonna cut through the section here. Is he gonna make it? Is he gonna make it? He does. 1.3 seconds better than G8 or Rusty. Joey, meanwhile, is just putting along. Not a care in the world. Ran a 1:17.9, very respectable. Shark is now a beach shark, just doing donuts, like it's going out of style. Hashtag get rich. J-Rod just kind of chilling there. So there we have it. I'm gonna go quiet here for the next probably 5 minutes. I'm gonna let y'all listen to the glorious sounds coming from these vehicles. So, I will be right back, folks. Alright, and I'm back. So, while I was letting you guys enjoy the glorious sounds of the motor, I was looking up, which I better get out of that, I was looking up different facts about this, this track. So, it opened its gates to the public on September of 1948 to host Britain's very first post-war motor race meeting at a permanent venue. Now, 12 years earlier, Goodwood's very first motorsport event was staged when a hill climb meeting was held for a small group of pre-war Lancia enthusiasts, hosted by the 9th Duke of Richmond, Freddie March. Now, the cool thing about this track is, the track derives from an ex-military airfield, the RAF West Hampton, named after the village bordering Goodwood, served as a Battle of Britain base during the war, and was a station from which RAF legend Sir Douglas Bader flew his last sortie. So that airfield was created on land that formed part of the Goodwood estate, home to the Dukes of Richmond for over 300 years, and was donated by the 9th Duke in order to assist with the war effort. Now, when that track first opened, the Brits loved it. From what I'm reading here, 85 drivers were competing at the track, and there were over 15,000 or 1,500, they got a little typo there, turned up to Goodwood on September 18th, 1948 to support the UK's first professionally organized post-war motor racing event. So, that's awesome. I mean, they haven't raced since Brooklands, and that was before the war, I believe in 1939. Yep. So Brooklands closed its door in 1939. Nobody saw a race in Britain until 1948, or I should say first professional race. I'm pretty sure there was other things going on. And let's take a look here. Looking at it, I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do there. I mean, it's got a cafe, go figure, Goodwood shop, and an aerodrome to where you can look to the skies and watch our fleet of aircraft take off and land. And this is on Goodwood's site, so I mean, this is legit. I'm curious to see what kind of events there are, because you can do different driving experiences to where you can drive in the track for about 359 pounds. Looks like it's about 50 miles of driving. A spin and slide. Oh, that's awesome. Looks like you just take whatever vehicle and go ham. Performance hot laps. Classic car experiences. There is a Goodwood off-road experience. And you can rent a classic Land Rover, trudge through the old circuit, all for a reasonable price of 220 pounds. So let's see, so let's take a look here. That's awesome. I mean, that is awesome. Now, spin and slide, let's take a look, see what that has to, what that entails. So, you can drive the latest BMW M140i, enjoy Goodwood's dynamic skid pan area, personal one-to-one tuition from a qualified inspector, and, oh, this is the best part, 50 minutes of thrill, spinning the car 180 degrees, and mastering the art of J-turns. How awesome is that? And they also host a track, or an event I should say, to where anybody 17 and under can get behind the wheel for the very first time in a Mini Cooper and get driving lessons from an approved driving instructor. Now, young drivers supposed to be 1.5 meters tall or over, so if you think you're gonna get by with having phone books on your shoes or sitting on phone books, well, hate to tell you, ain't gonna happen. I know I'm probably boring everybody, you know, with the facts and whatnot, but this is a track it's got a rich history to it, and it is so famous to where you gotta read up on it, you gotta research it and see what is, I mean, what's offered at the track. But I'll tell you one thing that's being offered right now, and that is Mr. Turbo with a beautiful Ferrari. So we now have 2 Ferraris, 1 Jag, 2 Alfa Romeos, 1 Shark, and a lone Toyota 2000 GT. So we're going to take a quick look here. I wonder if I got any old school cars. I mean, I got an Austin Power Jaguar. Yeah. So all I've got is the full GT 40. With hashtag Get Rich. And qualifying should be starting here within the next couple of minutes. So you will hear back from me in the next few minutes or so when qualifying starts. Alright, so it looks like we've got another member of RWB in here, none other than Presidio, Mr. Kit Kat himself. He is out of the lobby there. Oh, nope. He is driving a Jaguar E-Type Coupe. Situation, just looking at the situation, hoping he doesn't have to go into desperation in order to succeed in his participation. Now let's do some talking here. So with this Gentleman's Tuesday, I've already explained it. We race different styles of cars on different tracks, different circumstances. Anything's possible. I mean, we ran a rally race, we've ran a hot hatch race, we've ran muscle car races, we ran an old style race. You know, this is the fun thing about this event. You don't know what you're gonna race until maybe 2 or 3 days before the event. And while we did have a slight break last week to where Presidio hosted the RWB Open Endurance League, that didn't mean J-Rod was just kind of sitting around doing nothing. Oh no. No, no, no. This guy was in the lab cooking up this treat. Listen to that engine. Alright, so everybody is off into the track there. We've got different styles of race cars. We've got a Ferrari, we've got a Jaguar, we've got Alfa Romeo, we've even got an American car with the Plymouth Ghia. How do I know it's a Plymouth? Well, I'm gonna show you. If you look back here, right on the right hand side it says Plymouth, so I'm still going to call it a Shark either way. But looking at it here, we've got a wide array of race cars in this event. I'm curious to see what the Jaguar and the Toyota is going to do. How well is it going to fare against the likes of the Jaguar race car, I forget what it was called, and the Ferrari, I think it's like the P4 or the 330 or something of that sort. How is it going to perform against these race cars that we have? You know, is it gonna be better? Is it gonna be worse? We're not gonna know. A little bit of bump in there between Kitch and Rusty. Rusty drops back, and Vasco hits the wall there, slows him down some. He's gonna have a slow start to this lap. Venom getting across the line there as well as J-Rod getting ready to go across. Presidio putting along, crossing the line. So there goes the hot lap. Rusty is sitting there. Turbo is doing donuts. There we go. Okay. I see what he's doing. He's giving himself time there. That way he can set a proper fast lap. So, speaking of which, Francisco is out into the dirt. Canoli manages to get through the turns. And look at that save by Francisco. Venom just cruising along in a Shark. J-Rod in the Alpha, just moseying along with pretty much not a care in the world, which, I mean, you can't blame them. Look at the scenery. It's all green. Mr. Kit Kat himself going past the fastest section of the track. T64 Turbo back there as well as G8. Situation is in a bit of a situation. I think he turned to desperation and it's going to affect his participation. So right now as it stands, we've got Francisco first with a 114.3, J-Rod with a 118.7, Canoli with a 119.7, Venom excuse me, in a 121.08. Presidio in a 126. Turbo just set a new fastest lap of 1 minute 11 seconds. Rusty not too far behind, running a 113.4. We have got a solid qualifying. We got some qualifying times here. Now, this is going to showcase how diverse this section or this race is going to be. You got the Ferrari running first. Situation, he's kind of cruising. There's a 15-second gap between last place and first, ladies and gents. You have Presidio in the back there running the Jaguar. Venom in the Shark, running in a very cool 121. Francisco is not going to have it though with Turbo, running a 111.9. Turbo's still holding strong though with about a 1 second gap for second place, so he's about 0.9 tenths of a second faster. Now let's see what he's going to do here. Is he going to run? He ran a 110.9. Just about a 1 second gap there. Pretty much a 1 second. I mean, 1.001. Rusty is chilling there. Must have had a little bit of a situation. Just ran a 309. Joey Canoli still sitting there at a very healthy 4th place in a 118.6. So there's about a 5 second gap between 3rd and 4th. So 3rd and up, you've got your race cars. The ones that are meant for this track, the ones that are meant to be tuned, the ones that are meant to have the power and the handling. You know, the ones that Joey and everybody else is running, the Alfa Romeo that J-Rod's rocking, yes, it is a race car, but it's not a very powerful one at that. It can handle, I mean, don't get me wrong, it can handle great, but as far as power, I think that's where it falls short. J-Rod qualifying in 4th place, and Francisco is nowhere to be found. Probably got disconnected. Venom here running in a 5th place of a 121.08 still. So this is what it is shaping up to be as far as racing. Situation, 1 minute 58 second gap. That's unrealistic. I'm not going to go off of that. Presidio 11 seconds back. He is deciding to just go off-roading. You must have heard about that little trail experience I was talking about earlier in the stream. So with about 3 minutes left to go here in qualifying, as it stands, Turbo running a blistering 110. Rusty here running a 113.4. J-Rod with a 117. Joey Canoli in a 118. Venom in a 120. Presidio in a 122. Kitchuation 309. But, like I said, I don't care about that time. I know it's unrealistic. I know he's done better. He's just, I think he's getting a little bit frustrated there, and can't blame the guy. So I'm going to go quiet again here. My throat's getting a little bit sore, so I'm going to give it a couple minutes before we start this race. So enjoy the sounds once again of this beautiful Jaguar, and we'll be right back as soon as the race starts. Alright, so there you have it, y'all. The race is about to start, but got a little bit of a hiccup there. Looks like Francisco seemed to disconnect from the race there. Which I think what they're going to do is they're going to back out. They're going to change the setup, and they're going to set him to whatever time he qualified in. Yep, everybody's starting to leave, so Turbo, he's going to take advantage. Never mind. Alright, so as I was saying, the diverse group here is going to be interesting. Each car has different tire wear, each car has different fuel wear, or fuel usage. You know, there may be cars out here that'll sip gas, there may be others that'll shotgun it, doing handstands, or headstands. So, like I predicted, they changed the format there, practice race set by host, which, you know, it's a good gesture, especially with Francisco experiencing a little bit of internet issues, but it's all good. All good. You know, one thing I have never really learned was what ping was. 59 ms. I'm thinking that's milliseconds. I've been in this tech game for almost 10 years and I still have no idea what ping is. Ugh. I'll tell you what, technology just goes by fast. You know, the evolution of smartphones, the evolution of data networks, the evolution of computers, gaming systems, and, quite frankly, cars. You know, you would have seen a lot of these cars over at the Le Mans track back in its time, especially the Ferraris. And now you've got Toyota, you've got Rebellion Racing, you've also got, I believe it's Dragon Speed, Le Mans cars, and soon enough they're going to bring in hypercars, which, judging from the looks of the Toyota race car that's coming out in 2021 or 2022, it's going to be kind of like these cars, but souped up to today's standards, and it's going to be exciting. And Joey Cannoli is now doing the circuit in reverse. This takes a lot of balls. You know, he's fleeing around this $2 million, $1 million car and decides, you know what, I'm going to have some fun with it. Let's go in reverse. Let's see what happens. Can he manage it through this turn here? And he does. That was awesome. You know, he should automatically be first because of that. It takes a lot of skill. So right now we've got T64 Turbo first, Francisco second, Rusty third, J-Rob fourth, Joey fifth, Presidio sixth, Venom seventh in the Shark, and Kituation in eighth with the Alpha. And they're off. Turbo gets a blistering fast start there at the start line. Francisco right behind him. Rusty not too far behind. Joey Cannoli, J-Rob, Presidio, Kituation, Venom is out back. But we've got 4th through 6th all kind of bunched up together here. So right now we got a battle for first here between Turbo and Francisco, both in the Ferrari race cars, pulling away from Rusty with about almost a 2-second gap there between second and third place. So they're essentially probably going to work together to separate themselves. But we got J-Rod fourth. Presidio goes into the grass, gets squirrely, spins out right before the fat section, I like to call it. Kitchuation gets into the grass as well. Joey must have gotten to the grass also, but you know what? We got 21 laps of this. We're gonna be fine. So as it stands right now, Turbo setting a 116, as well as Francisco. Turbo gets wide into the grass and into the outside section of that turn, allowing Francisco to just breeze on past him. Now with a 2-second gap between first and second. Meanwhile, the gap between second and third is about 4 seconds. And then back farther, the gap between third and fourth is about 5 seconds. And then 6 seconds with the Shark, about 6 seconds with the Toyota. About a second and a half between the Toyota and the Jaguar. Kitchuation about 18 seconds behind. He'll be alright though. But looks like we've got a very angry Turbo just screaming past Francisco. He must have gotten to the grass there. Francisco gets disconnected. Oh my goodness. What a shame. So Turbo with a 5-second lead over Rusty. He is also running a 115.1. Rusty is now running a 115.2. J-Rod kicking it in third place, setting a 118.1. Venom going through with a Shark. Get ready to set, I'm going to say 122. I was wrong. Presidio is going to go across here running a 125. I was wrong again. Joey Cannoli is setting about a 127 there. Kitchuation. He's in a situation. Let's see here. So T64 Turbo just cruising. Not a care in the world. Pretty much no tire wear. Fuel, he's about half a tank. Rusty's got a little bit more though. He's between 3/4 and a half tank. And looky there. J-Rod with 3/4 of a tank easily has the most fuel between everybody. Venom in the Shark, it's being a typical American muscle car. It's using up the most gas at the moment. It's running about half a tank of fuel left. The Jaguar's not doing much better. He's just approaching a half tank. Joey Cannoli in the Toyota running just less than a half a tank. Kitchuation between 3/4 and a half. So this is where fuel strategy is really going to come in handy for these people. T64 may have a very distant lead over GAGT, or Rusty I should say. But Rusty's also got better fuel. But the guy that I'm really curious about is J-Rod running in the Alfa Romeo. And about between half and 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Venom looks like he's going to need to pit within the next couple laps or so. Presidio is doing alright on fuel there, but Joey is trying to catch him. Starting to gain some time on Presidio as well. Kitchuation running wide there in the Alfa Romeo, and he just cannot get this car down. I mean, he's already down about 56 seconds from the leader. So while he's entering these tricky right-hand sections, Turbo is entering the fast part of the track, or the faster part, I should say. And now the gap has widened to about 9 seconds, I'm gonna say. Yeah, they're running about... Yeah, there's a 9-second gap between first and second place, so... pretty sizable. J-Rod about 25 seconds away from Rusty. Venom is about 8 seconds away from J-Rod. looks like we got some commentary here from Mr. Francisco. I'm gonna send him a little bit of an invite there. Maybe see if he wants to co-commentate. Also, since his internet seems to be screwing up some. But meanwhile, it looks like we really haven't missed much here. Joey can only pass Presidio to take 5th spot. Meanwhile, the situation in a situation looked like he got lapped. Which, all good, all good. You know, the main point of this series is not about points. It's not about coming in first. It is about experiencing these different vehicles and how they drive. So this is actually a really good learning tool for people that may never race these kinds of race cars. Or they haven't done it, or they haven't even cared to. And it gives them a good indication of what to expect, how to handle the race car. So speaking of which, looks like Presidio is going to make a full stop there, as well as Joey Cannoli. Venom there in the Shark, getting gassed up. Turbo has to come in for a full stop. Rusty, where is he at here? He's running about 2nd place. Is he going to pit this lap? No, so while Turbo is chilling with a full stop, Rusty's going to go on past to take the lead. And let me tell you, this is a very intimidating look here. I mean, Rusty is on a warpath. He's getting ready to lap Joey Cannoli. Any second now. And if you look at the speeds there, Joey's running about 145. Rusty's doing about 147, but the Jaguar has better handling than its little sibling, the E-Type. So you see where Joey has to brake there. The car gets a little bit loose. This one just stays planted to the ground. So Joey is about to feel the wrath of its older brother, the Jaguar race car. Mr. Kit Kat is about to feel the wrath as well. Where is he? Yeah, he might get lucky this time around. But Rusty's gonna go ahead and probably pit. Yep, there he goes. He's gonna make a full stop. Venom, meanwhile, running in a very nice 4th place. J-Rod running 3rd. Turbo just passed Rusty for the lead. And is now looking to separate himself from Rusty. So we're about 8 laps in. We're a little bit over 1/3 of the way there to the finish. Turbo's going to have about a 20-second gap there. So he's got a very comfortable lead. Poor Joey's got a very angry Ferrari there going sideways. Speaking of which, Presidio just goes into the grass, spins out. Turbo is doing everything he could to get in front of Joey, which he successfully does. So now Turbo's next victim is Venom. Turbo's now built that gap to a 21-second lead over Rusty. And look how fast. Oh, the wall. The wall. I told you that was going to be the bane of everyone's existence. So right now he is looking to snatch up that shark. He is looking to snag the shark. He is like that main protagonist off of Jaws. He wants Jaws. It doesn't matter if he's got to throw a propane tank at this dude's car and blow him up. He's going to get Jaws. And there he goes. Venom gonna look over to the inside and manages to pass him. So Venom has managed to successfully lap most of the field in his Ferrari race car. J-Rod, meanwhile, is gonna pit. He is gonna be the next victim in the Turbo Crusade. Rusty is not gonna allow that to happen, though. He is making sure that he is going to pass Mr. T64 Turbo himself. And it seems to me we got a yellow flag. Look like that mess has been cleaned up. Turbo is, well, not Turbo, Rusty is now going to catch Presidio. Meanwhile, somebody wrecked. Who was it? Venom. So is Joey gonna pass him? Yep, passes him for 4th spot, or 4th place. J-Rod still running a very nice 30-second lead over Joey Cannoli. So everybody's pretty much split up. I mean, you got Joey 2 seconds ahead of Venom. Venom's about 2.7 seconds ahead, probably a little bit more. Kitchuation and Presidio is separated by about a 41-second gap. Kitchuation running a 1:19 as his best lap. So we're about halfway through the race, and the pack is pretty much split up into pretty significant differences here. Rusty gonna go past Venom there for the lap, and then he's got Joey Cannoli, that poor soul. Look at that straight drag race between a Toyota and a Jaguar, but that Toyota just does not have the grip or the handling as the Jaguar does, or the Ferrari for that matter. J-Rod looks like he is coming up on a Kitchuation there with a situation. Blue flag Turbo just lapped J-Rod. And oh, looks like somebody spins, and that was Rusty. Got a little bit loose there, probably into the grass. That lead is now gonna widen between Turbo and Rusty at 41 seconds. Almost a lap down from Turbo. Amazing. Just amazing. Rusty looks to be getting a little bit flustered there as he goes through turn 1. Gets a little bit off the grass there, almost spins out, but he's fine. J-Rod, meanwhile, gets squirrely, hits the wall. Is going to have to cut through that part of the track, gets reset. Still has a very nice gap, though, between himself and Joey Cannoli. Still holding a 36-second gap. Meanwhile, Rusty is about 51 seconds. T64 Turbo pits, makes a full stop, and still comes out 48 seconds ahead of Rusty. Rusty here still running about a quarter tank of gas. What's he gonna do on this lap? Is he gonna pit? Nope. He says, screw it. Let's do it. Let's roll. Presidio is coming up here looking to pass Joey, which he does. Good work there. Joey, meanwhile, still chilling in the pits. He's probably yelling at his teammates right now, his crew, using probably British terminology that I don't understand. J-Rod about 50 seconds away from Rusty, Mr. G8GT driver. Rusty has now cut that lead down to 26 seconds. Still, he's going to have to put in a lot of work to be able to catch up to Turbo. He's going to have to take a miracle. Will we see a miracle? You never know in this league. Situation, we haven't given much love to him. You know, he may be a couple laps down, but damn it, he's trying. You know, you can't fault him for that. He is trying his hardest there. He is racing hard. Ran his personal best of 118. Venom, meanwhile, chilling in 6th. About 10-second gap ahead of Kitch. And he's about 7 seconds behind Joey Cannoli. Sorry guys, getting late. Meanwhile, looking at the gaps here, Rusty is the only one on the lead lap at the moment. J-Rod's a lap down. Presidio's a lap down, get ready to be 2. Joey is get ready to be 2 laps down also. Venom almost there. Kitch, I believe he is a lap down. Or at least 2. Now here's some commotion there with the tires squealing, but looks like Kitch managed to save it. Now look at the size comparison between the vehicles. This is going to tell you how lopsided this race is between the Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. Which Alfa Romeo catches a little bit of grass and decides to get squirrely. Turbo, meanwhile, gets into the grass as well. Is he gonna save it? No. But you know what? He's running about 30 seconds ahead of the competition, and the competition has just pitted. Which he is looking to make a full stop, or is he? Yep, makes a full stop. Turbo, meanwhile, that gap went from 30 seconds to about 54 seconds. J-Rock cutting through the last turns there, very clean. Joey Cannoli there approaching the technical S's. Manages to get through the curves there with ease. Venom going through the S's as well. He's about 8.5 seconds back from Joey Cannoli. Meanwhile, he is 12 seconds ahead of Mr. Kit Kat himself, Presidio. Situation is going to pit there. It's going to lose quite a bit of time, but these people have to pit as well. Well, it looks like Presidio just pitted. Venom running about a quarter tank of gas. And I may give this car a lot of flack, but it's not a bad looking car. You know, I like to call it a shark just because of the fin. But I mean, looking at the inside, I mean, the inside itself looks pretty good. And it is styled like a shark. I mean, come on. Situation goes off into the grass there. Manages to save it. That's easily our save of the day right there. Good work, my man. Good work. But who is getting ready to lap Kitch? None other than Rusty. Rusty took about Took about 10 seconds off of the gap there between himself and Turbo. He's now 42 seconds behind. Situation, oh, spins out. I thought he was going to go out into the track there, but manages to keep it within, or outside of the track, I should say. So good work there. Turbo, meanwhile, he's running balls to the walls, and look at the difference in the fuel between Turbo and Rusty. Rusty's got 3/4 of a tank. Turbo's got a quarter. We're 17 laps into this out of 21, so we got about going on 4 laps left of the race. So this may get pretty interesting. Turbo may just grab enough fuel to last for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, I'm wondering if Rusty is fuel saving at this point. Figures if he's not going to beat Turbo by speed, by God, he's going to beat him in strategy. Let's beat him by fuel. Speaking of fuel, looks like J-Rod goes into pit as well as Mr. Shark Venom. He's just going to stop there for fuel, probably just enough to last the rest of the race. 15 laps in. Presidio is going to mosey on past, but he is about 35 seconds behind Joey Cannoli. Joey, though, has to pit. J-Rod just made a full stop a few laps ago. Rusty still doing good with his fuel. Turbo's going to have to pit after this lap, so these two here are going to get pretty interesting, if I say so myself. Turbo just sweeping on by like it's nothing. Rusty just cruising on past. Oh, close one. Turbo goes into pit. Probably not going to make a full stop. Probably just going to stop for just enough fuel to last the race. Which I imagine is going to be at least half a tank to 3/4 of a tank. While Rusty is pushing on ahead, trying to get to Turbo. And Turbo, yeah, he's sitting right between 3/4 and a half tank, so he's pretty much gone. This is going to be his race to lose. Rusty, meanwhile, gets it to the grass there, manages to save it. Good job there, sir. J-Rod going back into pit. Must have realized he didn't have enough fuel to last the race. Meanwhile, we got Joey running in 4th. Pretty much 40-second gap between both spots. Presidio running 5th. About a 22-second gap between himself and Venom, who is 6th. 31 seconds ahead of Kitch. Joey Cannoli looks like he's going to go in pit just for enough fuel to last the rest of the race. Meanwhile, J-Rod, just enough gas to last. Mr. Rusty, he's got gas. That sounded wrong. Turbo is going to go on to lap 20 out of 21. He's got 2 more laps. This race is pretty much his. He's flashing his lights trying to show off. Let's go on board here. Kitch looks like he gets a little bit squirrely there. Nah, didn't save it. Did not save it. His next victim is going to be Cannoli. He is out there. He's got a sweet tooth. He wants to take a bite out of Cannoli. Is he going to do it through these turns here? Gets a little bit loose. But manages to stick it. Gonna go to the fast part here of the track, leaving Joey behind. Rusty still with about a 26-second gap. We got ourselves a yellow flag up ahead. Not sure what it is for. Looked like somebody just went into the dirt. And who's that gonna be? Looks to be Kitch. Yep. J-Rod running in a very solid 3rd place. About a 1 minute 47 second gap. Joey Canoli is now on his 19th lap. That's going to be his final. Turbo is on his final lap here of the race. This is going to be more of a victory lap for him. So we're going to focus most of the attention here on him. Ooh, got a little bit sideways into the dirt. Gets reset. So that's going to hurt his gap there. He's still about a 28-second lead, though, over Rusty. Gets a little bit squirrely there. And what a race. I mean, he ran a genius race today. The speed of that Ferrari was just too much to handle for everybody else. Even the Jaguar race car couldn't catch up to this thing. So as he goes through the final sections of the turn there, it's going to be none other than Mr. T64 Turbo himself finishing the race in first place. Second place is going to be Rusty here, going through the last part of the track onto the blind kinks. And we'll take a look at it here from our kink cam. And if you don't like the kink cam, all I got to say to you is don't kink shame me. But he's going to come home second place, J-Rod. Meanwhile, he did a heck of a job with the Alfa Romeo. He's going to come home in third. Joey's going to be fourth. Looks like Presidio is going to be fifth. Venom 6th, Kitch 7th. Venom just kind of getting into the dirt there. Yeah, he's just doing donuts at this point. I don't think he cares at the moment. So there you have it, ladies and gents. This was our Gentleman's Tuesday race. And let's take a look at the victor of the race there, Mr. T64 Turbo himself, with both pole position and fastest lap of the race. And what a great race. You know, a little bit lopsided, in my opinion, but, you know, the whole theme of it was historic race cars. And like I said, it's not a points race. It's a driving experience more than anything. So this is going to be your boy Cupcake signing off here. Like I said, Thursday we've got the Group 3 Endurance. Friday we've got Super Formula, last regular season race for the Eastern Division. Saturday, Group 3, Group 4 Endurance races. And then next Tuesday, we've got another Gentleman's Tuesday race. So this is Cupcake, signing out. Want to thank Flex Tape as well. And be sure to check us out, www.rwbracing.com. Check us out on Facebook, RWB Racing. Check out our Facebook group. I mean, we got a group to where all the events get posted. We don't care what skill level you are. We don't care if you're the fastest driver, if you're the Igor Fraga of the game. We don't care. Or if you're, you know, you just got your PlayStation, you don't know how to race just yet, or you don't know how to race, or you don't know proper race etiquette. Doesn't matter. We're here to have a good time. We're here to race. We're here to have fun. So come join our group, participate in the events, have fun. You know, we're a good group of people. So, on that note, see you guys later.